I'd like to welcome everyone to another death battle on the channel here. I am Andre himself, and here on this death battle, we have the champion of Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang, versus the blue beast from the Hidden Leaf, Might Guy. If you're new, go ahead, hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome to another edition to the death battles. Now, if you're new to the death battles in general, what I end up doing, I take two characters that probably be very similar, or a lot of people when wondering who would win between the death battle between the two characters. I go do my research. I take a look at everything they do when it comes to their abilities, their speed, their strength, endurance, everything. Put them all in the scenario, put them together. Pretty much these both opponents will be showing up randomly with their standard gear. They pop up on a battlefield and they fight it out to see who will actually win in a death battle between the two. So let's get started. We're starting off with the Mortal Kombat side of things. We're talking about Liu Kang. Now let's talk about Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang happens to be a warrior, a Shaolin monk from the Mortal Kombat universe, representing the Earth realm and everything that's good about the Earth realm. He is pretty much the face of the Mortal Kombat universe. Outside of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, I would say Liu Kang is pretty much the face of Mortal Kombat. I'm pretty sure he has showed up in every single Mortal Kombat, I think outside of maybe just one Mortal Kombat, and that Mortal Kombat had to be Deadly Alliance. Outside of that, I'm 100% sure he has showed up in every single Mortal Kombat there is possible. Liu Kang, in his background story, outside of just being a Shaolin monk and being a part of the monks in the White Lotus clan, he is repeating champion of the Mortal Kombat universe, taking on so many characters from Scorpion, Sub-Zero, to going one-on-one against Raiden, to defeating the likes of Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, and to even going against recently a Titan, and I think her name is Karanika. So Liu Kang has seen them all, and he's fought them all, and he's pretty much has beaten them every single time. That's what he just does. He's an excellent hand-to-hand combat warrior. Martial arts is his thing. He used the Jen Fan. He used karate. He used Jet Kondo. He used Dragon. He used very different arsenals from his very debut in the very first Mortal Kombat video game, all the way up into Mortal Kombat 11. And of course, that's not including what he's going to be using in Mortal Kombat number 1, which is coming out here soon, to get a very different look at him. The weapons that he normally uses happens to just pretty much be nunchucks, is what his recurring weapon that he normally uses in his battles, so he will have that a part of his arsenal. If we continue to look through Liu Kang's storyline and his fighting abilities in general, he's known outside of his just using his martial arts fighting skills, which allow him to use flying kicks and bicycle kicks in mid-air while he's fighting. He's also able to harness his chi and able to use fire attacks like fireballs, high, low, multiple versions of different fireballs, and actually able to summon a dragon when he wants to hit his opponent with a finishing move. So Liu Kang has all that to his arsenal. And now, after the events from Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang has been able to transform to his next stage of his career, of his lifestyle. And that happens to be Fire Thunder God Liu Kang. Fire Thunder God Liu Kang. To be honest, he really didn't. Everything he does is just amplify with lightning added or even fire added to each attack. So if he's going for a punch or a combination, he end up ending it off with like a thunder or a lightning strike or so. So that's pretty much what he ended up doing to add to that. Now he's known as an elder god, and using the powers of the hourglass, he was able to reset time and created his own new timeline, which ended up becoming later on Mortal Kombat 1, the video game that comes out in a few weeks, or whenever you guys end up hearing this death battle. So Liu Kang, very impressive. Like I said, he's fight and defeated so many characters throughout the Mortal Kombat universe. I think everybody who went up against Liu Kang in battle will say he's the chosen one. He's the champion of Mortal Kombat. Raiden picked him specifically. He's gone toe-to-toe with anybody and everybody who wants to smoke with Liu Kang. He's defeated them all. He even defeated his remnant version of himself, a little older version of himself. He was able to defeat that version who was enhanced with magical powers. Liu Kang was able to go toe to toe with a version of himself and defeat himself in a battle. So that can tell you what type of warrior that he truly is. All in all, Liu Kang is awesome. He's great. He has everything he's necessary. He's bringing to this death battle. He's just bringing his nunchucks, his abilities and skill sets that he's and experience that he has throughout his entire life as a Mortal Kombat character, going into the future, which is a big time question mark at this moment in time. It's a question mark at this moment in time. So now let's talk about his opponent. His opponent happens to be the Blue Beast from the Hidden Leaf. It is Might Guy. Now, Might Guy, like I said, he's a ninja from the Hidden Leaf village of the anime series known as Naruto. With that being said, Might Guy is not an expert at special. He's not an expert at ninjutsu and genjutsu, two big things in the Naruto universe. He's mostly a master at taijutsu. Now, I'm not saying he cannot use. I don't think he can use genjutsu, but I know for a fact that he has very small useless of the ninjutsu that he can use. But like I said, it's not one of his fortes, so he's mostly a taijutsu user in the Naruto universe. With that being said, Might Guy, if you pay attention to Might Guy is a very powerful opponent. He's a master of the taijutsu, pretty much is hand-to-hand combat in different arsenal styles. But the way that Might Guy fights, pretty much Might Guy skill sets and the way he fights is very unnatural. Considering for the fact that whenever someone fights in usually hand-to-hand combat, usually there's a certain style that people follow through to deal with. But for Might Guy, on the other hand, he has a different way of fighting. So one of his favorite things is called the dynamic entry, which he does a flying kick in his left field and is random. Not only that, but most people don't understand what kind of fighting style he is, because his fighting stance usually stands with his hands up and one hand up and his other hand on his back, and that's pretty much his offense and defense. And there's no opening to his fighting style. Makes him very, very difficult to deal with when people decide to go one-on-one against the Blue Beast, and I actually think they actually have a style of trying to beat him. With his style of taijutsu, he fights what is known as strong style. Pretty much is to effectively punch, kick, whatever effective strikes that will pretty much knock out anybody with one blow. That's what he does. He doesn't hold back. He tosses the punches or the kicks or whatever, and he try to go as hard as possible. That way he can knock out his opponents sooner and faster than normal. And for somebody like a ninja in the Naruto universe, especially somebody like my guy who doesn't have extreme crazy talents, what he ended up doing is he challenged himself with random challenges, like doing like running on his hands around the entire village 100 times in a certain amount of time. And if he can't do that, then he increases the difficulty while trying to hit his goals, and that's what my guy does. With the power of youth on his side, pretty much saying he's still useful, he can still do X, Y, and Z. My guy showcased that he's a very difficult character to deal with. Now, despite that, and despite all of that, in the Naruto universe of a world full of ninjas, my guy also had to pretty much deal with some of the absolute most strongest characters in the entire series. The way that my guy had to do that was learning a forbidden jutsu known as the 8 inner gates. The 8 inner gates pretty much increases one's speed, power, and strength when he's activating the 8 inner gates. And with each gate opening, it gets stronger, it gets faster, but it does have his feedback, negative feedback towards him. It does drain him a little bit. It kind of hurts the body a little bit if your body's not used to opening the 8 inner gates, which means pretty much you have to just train underneath Might Guy's training section, and then you'll be good to go. With that being said, like I said, there's 8 different inner gates, and they all pretty much increases everything about him as a character and his strength skills. Now, his final gate that he could open at the very end of it, if he feels like the opponent is too strong, too powerful to handle, and that the first 7 wasn't good enough for him to use in a battle, or does he prove it's going to be useless? He'll enter the eighth gate, and the eighth gate is the gate of death. He has a very short he has a very short time that he can use the eighth gate, but the eighth gate is naturally 100% the absolute peak of his powers. He's faster, with one statement saying that the way his speed, he's able to bend time and space itself. Not only that, but his speed is so fast that he's actually running in mid-air rather than flying. Because there's hardly any Naruto. There's probably one or two Naruto characters that can fly. So that his eighth gate makes him literally levitate in mid-air, makes him run in mid-air. His attacks are increased to his max extent. He's developed and uses jutsus that are pretty much strain somebody's body down to the max limit it can go down to. He has 5 deadly attacks in the eighth gate that will pretty much give him the victory. The first one is called the front lotus, where he overwhelms the opponent with punches through the reverse lotus, and then he can use morning peacock to unleash a series of rapid punches at the end light through air friction. And then he has the next one's called Daytime Tiger to launch a concentrated air pressure at opponents that violently expands on contact for what he calls a one-hit kill. He has another one called the Evening Elephant, which to punch from a distance powerful shockwaves of air. And then his ultimate technique happens to be Night Guy, which is a single kick of such speed that the space around him is distorted. That attack alone was almost able to kill a character known as Madara Uchiha in his Otsutsuki form, but his Otsutsuki form was able to pretty much, his body can heal itself, but if he didn't have it, you had Madara Uchiha basically saying that he would have died because of that. And with that being said, Madara Uchiha, who is known as one of the strongest characters in the Naruto series, have crowned Might Guy as the strongest taijutsu user in the entire history of Naruto. So with that being said, despite that, Might Guy, he comes in, like I said, basically when he comes in to fight, he's going to just pretty much, he's an expert using nunchucks, and that's what he's going to bring to this fight. He's not going to bring anything else, just nunchucks, his fighting skills and his abilities. That's it. So now that we have our set out, we know what the characters can do, we know what they can produce, both sides. Who wins this death battle? Hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy. I know. I hate to be that guy. But when I thought about this and started researching everything, I pretty much had a conclusion beforehand, but I had to ensure that conclusion. In conclusion, Might Guy beats Liu Kang. Yes, Might Guy 100% beat Liu Kang. Quite honestly, it's kind of like, it's going to be like it's almost a one-sided beatdown. And here's the reasons why. Like I said, in hand-to-hand combat, base form versus base form, normal versus normal, regular fighting style. Liu Kang, like I said, he's an expert martial artist, and so is Might Guy. I think Might Guy's unique, different version of fighting styles overcomes Liu Kang's. I think Liu Kang wouldn't know how to counter things that Might Guy can do. Liu Kang also like to use fireballs and stuff. I think Might Guy, in my personal opinion, is fast enough to dodge that, especially with him being able to dodge a lot of abilities in the Naruto universe that are, this in my personal opinion, just absolutely way more faster than anything that the Mortal Kombat universe is thrown. I think the fastest character in Mortal Kombat is Cabal, and I don't think Cabal is even fast enough. It's faster than part 1 Naruto characters when they were children. So, and they broke the they broke the sound barrier at one point in that first half. So quite honestly, I don't think Liu Kang has the speed to keep up with Might Guy in a death battle. But let's keep it pushing. Let's say he's able to keep up and he was able to fight even max. I think Liu Kang using his Fire Thunder Guy transformation, which he'll be able to use. To me, we haven't seen, not only have we not seen much from it from Mortal Kombat 11, but there's not much that says, there's nothing that says that he's absolutely anything different than what he is. I think the Fire Thunder transformation, it looks cool, it looks awesome to look at, but all in all, It's just adding lightning to his already ability to shoot out fire. He can shoot fire already, so now he's adding lightning to it. His speed didn't increase. His fighting skills didn't increase. I don't think anything increased. And let's say it did. Let's go for the. Let's say I'm gonna use headcanon and said it did increase. Let's say he gets some. Let's say he gets an extra 10% boost in that form. That's fine. That's great. There's still nothing that I saw from Luke Kang's Fire God transformation that would say that he can beat Might Guy in a death battle. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think in maybe Mortal Kombat and the new Mortal Kombat game, maybe then they would expand more onto it. Maybe they'll add in more speed feats for him. Maybe he gets something. Maybe it could be anything. But from what I can tell and from what I saw from the Mortal Kombat 11 video game and from what I've researched and stuff, maybe my research is off. There wasn't anything different from Liu Kang outside of just having technically god tier powers in the Mortal Kombat universe. I think in the same situation that everything was going down in Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11, especially in 11 when he got the Fire God transformation, everything that Liu Kang did, I think Might Guy can do that times 10. I think Might Guy just overshadows him. I don't think Might Guy would need 8 gates to beat Liu Kang. I think the only thing different was Liu Kang was able to fly. That's pretty much it. But in the Naruto universe, they dealt with characters that flew. Like I said, I think Might Guy's 7 gate. I think his 7 gate is more than his 6 or 7 gate. He usually goes 7 gate a lot. I think 7 gate Might Guy is more than enough to kill Fire God Liu Kang, in my personal opinion. Once again, I might be completely off the market. I might be completely wrong. But from what I saw from Liu Kang when it comes to that transformation, there's nothing about him that changed outside of his appearance and what he is and what he technically is now. There's nothing that screams Fire God Liu Kang is on a whole different pedestal than the rest of the characters. Well, and compared to the rest of the characters in Mortal Kombat, yes, but to any other characters outside of his own verse, I don't think is anything different. And of course, for quick research, one more time before I was going to end this off, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. And from what I saw, once again, he might be he might be one of the most powerful characters in the show, in the entire Mortal Kombat universe. But that universe is kind of really tamed when you take a deep down look into it. I don't think anything that Liu Kang can throw at Might Guy would pretty much give him the W. Especially if even if you say, okay, Fire God Liu Kang, he's blah 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 blah, he's X amount of power. Also, then what is his counter to the 8th gate? The 8th gate being the opening and pretty much Might Guy bending time and space itself, something that Liu Kang can't do except when he has the hourglass in front of him. If he has the hourglass, yeah, he can do it, but we're not giving him that hourglass. We're just having him as a character. Might Guy has access to this ability, so I don't really see that being enough to kill Might Guy. So at the end of this death battle, Might Guy takes the W here. If I'm wrong, especially with the new Mortal Kombat video game comes out, anybody who's quickly buying it or gonna have it as quickly as possible, and you play through it and you play through the storyline and stuff, of course, let me know down in the comment section. Did they increase Liu Kang's Fire God transformation? If it did, how much, in your personal opinion, did it increase compared to what you know about him already? Of course, do some heavy research on the Fire God transformation and techniques, because if it becomes absolute more powerful than anything, then I would pretty much end up redoing this and changing the ending to it more than anything. But at this moment in time, until I see something different, Might Guy beats Liu Kang in the death battle, and that's the end of it. But that's my personal opinion. Don't take my word for canon. Hit that like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section what you think is, who you got winning this death battle, and I'll catch you guys on the next death battle.